Good morning, guys. Joseph Ballman here. This morning I've got to put a clutch master cylinder in a 2009 Pontiac G5 GT, which would be the same thing basically as a Cobalt. It's a 2.2 5-speed car. Put a clutch in this thing, 30,000 miles ago, and the customer brought it back complaining that the clutch was slipping going up hills, which was really strange. You know, it would only do it in the afternoon. Well, long story short, we pulled the transmission back out to check the clutch out, and you could tell the clutch had been getting really hot. I actually warrantied out the old clutch, so I don't have it here. But you could see where the pressure plate was blued, the flywheel was blued. So we went ahead and put a new flywheel clutch pressure plate in, got it all back together. And initially we were suspecting that somebody possibly was using the clutch pedal as a footrest, and it was slipping the clutch, and that's what caused it to get hot, because it worked perfectly. I mean, this thing, it drove here, we drove it in, it worked perfectly. It just, they were saying in the afternoons it would slip when you're pulling hills, especially long steep hills. So anyway, long story short, got it all put back together. Could not get the clutch to bleed at all. Could not get any fluid through the master cylinder down to the slave cylinder any way I tried. I tried pressure bleeding it. I tried vacuum bleeding it. We tried pumping it up, bleeding it that way. Could not get anything through. Started pulling it apart. Pulled all the hydraulic lines off. The line that runs in from the master cylinder, the line that runs out from the the line that runs into the master cylinder from the reservoir, the line that runs from the master cylinder to the slave cylinder, pulled them all apart, blew them all out. They're all clear. I can put compressed air to the master cylinder, and I cannot blow compressed air through the master cylinder with the pedal in the up position, which indicates to me that there's some form of a blockage in there that is keeping that master cylinder from returning to the full neutral position when you release off the clutch pedal. That is more than likely what was causing the clutch to slip, because it was holding pressure in the system. It wasn't releasing completely and letting that pressure bleed back to the reservoir. And long term, as the clutch wore down, they would have actually lost clutch pedal. So what we're going to do this morning is we're going to put a clutch master cylinder on here. Now, on these cars, let me get my light out here. The clutch master cylinder is buried down in here. You can see that metal clamp right there. What you can't see behind it, I might be able to get you in a spot, there is a little green tab on this. That is a quick release. Once you release that, there's a retainer in on the back of the pedal that you have to release, and then it is a, let's see, it is going to be a quarter turn roughly clockwise to release the master cylinder from the firewall. So I'm going to get you in the car, we'll show you up under the dash, and then I will show you what we're doing here. I don't know how well you can see this. The little white plastic clip there is what retains the master cylinder rod. And ouch. All right. I'm going to go release it from the other side first, and then we'll try this again if I can get out of here. Okay, now what I was saying over here is this line down here. If I grab it, I gotta find there is a button on either side of the coupler that you have to push in. Good gracious, how did I do this? I released it before. Maybe I used my other hand. Okay. Let's try it this way. There we go. Oh, now she's peeing. Come here. Get her up out of the way. Now, you can see there's a green button on that side, a green button on that side. You push them both to the center, it moves the clips and it releases. I'll tuck that out of the way since it's peeing brake fluid everywhere. And then release this. Goodness gracious. Try this with my other hand. Quarter turn. Okay. We can now pull it back through the firewall. Alright. I don't know if you can see that, but you can see how it released now. Now I'm going to wipe the brake fluid off my hands and we'll get back in the car and see if we can get it out of the release. And there we go. The tab on both sides you have to push in. And I think the tab on the left side, well, maybe it doesn't sit further back. It just felt like it. Okay. Now we can take the old one out from the outside. See, it's kind of falling out there. Just reach down there and grab it and fish the rod through the firewall. Come on. Because I can't see anything. I guess you guys probably can't either, but oh, our stupid little clippies got wedged. Well, I'm gonna have to go flip that clip. Need some light so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. Now they've climbed in and out of the car 15 times. There it comes. Oops. And we're out. And then to install the new one, we're just going to reverse the procedure. On the new one, it already comes with a little metal clip that retains the line. Just make sure it's there. We're going to pull the plug out of the reservoir line. It's going to slide it right back through the hole in the firewall. With any luck anyway. This spot right together. There we go. And then okay, switch it. So I'm gonna lock it in now. Okay guys, so I've stuffed this thing back through the firewall and I still cannot get it to rotate to lock into position. So jam myself back down here into the dash. We're gonna get this clipped in. See if maybe that'll help. Because I have a feeling that maybe I'm jammed up against the pedal. So it just slides in like that, and then click, lock. Now we'll see if we can get it to rotate and lock in, if I can get out of here. Now we'll give this another shot. Sorry about that, hopefully the last clip took. My battery just randomly died. Okay. Yep. So that's the trick. First thing you have to do is get the rod put into the pedal, and then you can attach everything else. Now, real quick before I reattach my supply lines from my master cylinder, I'm going to get my pressure line to my slave reattached. That way I'm not dribbling brake fluid everywhere in the meantime, or at least get it rerun. I will probably, well, you'll see here in a second. There's my other end. I'm just going to slide it in there like that until I get my supply line on. That way, as I install the supply line, hopefully it will push any remaining air out of the master cylinder and basically allow it to self-bleed. Get on there. Come on. And I just knocked my flashlight down. Ever so slightly pull back. You can see the fluid running out. That means we've got fluid down there. Slide that in until you hear it click. Oh heavens, I'm stuck. Okay. Okay. It's locked in. Now, it's time to bleed the system. So, in order to do this, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to vacuum bleed this clutch. I'm going to show you how it works. It's actually a very simple process. First things first, okay, we're going to top off the fluid. install my cap. Come on. Install my little handheld vacuum pump here. I gotta use the wrong end of the hose. Yep. Okay. Now, got all that installed. Now, I'm going to actually pull a vacuum on the master cylinder. As I do this, maybe you'll be able to see this as I get it down. You can see the bubbles coming up. Those are all the bubbles coming up from the clutch system. Now we're going to let it sit under a vacuum for about a minute. I'll release it quickly, refill it, do this about 2 or 3 times, pumping the clutch pedal in between, and that should bleed it all out. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I pulled a vacuum on this several times now, and I'm no longer getting any air out. So, if you keep your bottle pointed down, you can do this with a rubber stopper and a tube. When I release the vacuum, it'll actually draw the brake fluid back in. Now, you have to keep in mind you're going to have to pump the brakes back up after this because it will suck the pistons in to the brake calipers. Okay, I'm going to take that off. And I'm actually going to pull a vacuum to clear the line out. There we go. I'm going to set that off to the side. Now, I have to put the power distribution center back together because I have to take this apart to get to the master cylinder. Those all snap in. So, and this sits right on top, and all these screws, each one goes into a different connector. Look at that done. I'll be back. Alright guys, so now all I have to do is pump the brakes up, check the fluid, hook up the battery, and make sure it shifts through the gears. Okay guys, I got the power distribution box put back together because you have to remove it to be able to get down in there to the master cylinder. Got everything bled. I've pumped the brakes up, topped off the fluid level. I put a little extra in because I don't think the brakes have completely pumped up yet. But we've got all that done. I've hooked the battery back up. I just need to start it, make sure it shifts through the gears, and get everything cleaned up and get it test driven. So hopefully this video has helped you guys some. Like I said, if you have any questions, put them in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Please rate the video. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. I know I've had to take a little hiatus here to get some other stuff done that I haven't gotten on video, and I haven't had a chance to go through and sit down and edit videos and whatnot. Just haven't had the time lately, but we're gonna try to change that here in the future. Anyway, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, rate the video, and don't forget, get out there and get your hands dirty. You just might have fun doing it. Have a nice day, guys.